to another video in the last time I studied was part one of the destruction of Jerusalem. Just background information, at 9/11, the pastors in Adventism, they chose to forsake the messages that came with Jeff Peppinger, and they didn't want to look at the fall of the Ottoman Empire. So when they did that, they didn't recognize the fall of the Ottoman Empire in America. So they didn't want to recognize some prophetic truth that would have been linked to my studies of the Taliban insurgency of 2021. So 2021 comes, and I predict that the Taliban insurgency is going to be. There's going to be a civil unrest here in South Africa, which there was when the people were looting in certain areas here in South Africa, in predominantly, but also in Gauteng, and that there was going to be, as I say, civil unrest in Zimbabwe also, which I haven't seen that happen, but I do see that the meeting was then used to form some type of the Sunday group, which worked with Zimbabwe people from Zimbabwe as a part of it, being just martyrs for being persecuted. But I can see that people from Zimbabwe were used or are being used or are using themselves or are working to become a part of the entourage that has come to me in my neighborhood to do the work that they are doing to fight against what they see as anti-Christ. When I see them as anti-Semitic, they're anti-Semitic. They want to be anti-Semitic because they want to rise up and put those girls from Adventism as queens ultimately, as queens of Sheba. They want to rise up as black people and use that as a means to draw in other people in order for them to work with them in the work that they're doing. But they're trying to fight against the prophetic message, and they're trying to fight against ultimately word, as it were, word being all the entities that are used to test in this prophetic twilight. Pastors do that work. They try to do this work where they're trying to fight a president one day. And as we read from the first chapter of Great Controversy, President Biden does not win that war. He doesn't win that war. And we can see it from what happens in the world when the Taliban insurgency happens. And the Taliban also just win the war in Afghanistan, meaning that there's a separation of states and the people having their own rule. They rule themselves now, and ultimately they have the power in their hands to either persecute or do whatever they want to do to other people. So 2022 comes and the Queen of England dies, and he dies unfortunately in the hands of this entourage. Because when we gonna see later on is, as I'm gonna be sharing here, why that happened. From 9/11, they get an evil spirit in them because they're soul, and in 2021, they want to use the demons, so they want to be demon possessed in order to fight this war against heathen people who don't know anything about the prophetic message, who don't know anything about their beliefs whatsoever, and who do not want to fight with them. They just do not want to fight with them, and they clearly say, as I said in 2021, I'm not fighting with you. But because they can see the money, they can see the glory that comes with the fulfillment of my messages, when they do not believe in the message itself and its methodology, they wanted to fight with me anyway, so they could gain the glory for themselves, and they could eat the money as their input. general scale that the priest is just Reuben and Jeff, and the Levites is yesterday, and the Nicodemus is the Lord. So this post had three positions to it. It had three I can say three positions. It's prophetess, priestess, queen. So as I entered in 2020, I was already within the group of priests, and priests on a general level being in the group of Jeff and his movement. But unfortunately, when they kicked me out in 2020, when Clayton claimed in America that I was being rebellious, I was being and I was being almost like a sin, like I couldn't get it to heaven if I post a man's picture that I love on my Instagram account. I don't know why I feel giggly. When I post a man's picture on my Instagram account, I just felt like it was something that was sinful when it is not a sin to fall in love. It is not a sin to fall in love. When you post a man's picture on social media that you love, it shouldn't be calling for other people to look in as spies, as if you're sinning against yourself, or if you're holding and you're both holding each other's hands. It shouldn't be something you're choosing with the person you're falling in love with to do whatever you like. It shouldn't be a sin, but they wanted to be the people that control my interests and control whoever I'm falling in love with interests into us doing and saying whatever they wanted us to do. When they kicked me out in 2020, the priest, I had to accept that I was no longer a part of the group of priests because I was his sister who was being rebellious right before the door closes for a group of people. So they had already ruled that I wouldn't be in heaven. So I'm the wicked one. I'm the satanic, the evil one who's not going to be in heaven. A door closed and another door opened. When I got the messages right before July 18th didn't happen, because July 18th didn't happen, I was cast out of the groups in May, and in July 18th, Nashville was alert after Jeff had for a long time, since the 9th of November when we separated with preliminary test, Jeff and in the messages we have believed that July 18th is going to happen. July 18th didn't happen. Right after July 18th didn't happen. And I had a message that the Taliban insurgency would happen. No one in the messages, but no one in the movement, in Jeff's movement, believed that message. Because who comes with a message from Africa? Who comes with a message of the hour? Who's going to be next in line coming from Africa? When I'm a black person, and I'm a black woman, and all along, you can see Ellen White was white, William Miller was white, Jeff Clippens was white, but you look at me and they want to believe that another person who's going to be next in line after Jeff Clippens is going to be a Caucasian man or a Caucasian woman, and not a woman who's black, and most importantly, not a woman who's black coming straight from Africa. And here I was with a message, and they didn't believe it. What type of a message is this? They just didn't believe that anything that I wrote in those messages would come to pass. I was cast out of the groups, and the priests now became the pontiffs, the bishops, and the spiritual leaders of the world. So in my place now, when I'm standing as a prophetess and queen, they stand as priests. So when it says that Judah Vatican and the bishops in the churches in the world, along with spiritual leaders, need to know that country living is a test for them too now. Whatever is a test for Jeff's movement and Jeff is a test for bishops, pontiffs, and spiritual leaders too. And so it was. In 2020, the first thing that happened when the test came after July 18th didn't happen was the death of Archbishop Desmond Tutu here in South Africa. Archbishop Desmond Tutu passed away in 2020, and he is part of the bishops and the pontiffs who are the priests in the world. The second death that happened was the death of Queen Elizabeth, and Queen Elizabeth is the head of the Church of England. So that was a death that happened in this time period, as they formed this group of people which are priests in the world. So now in 2023, after the insect phase, when they came to the insect phase, and I started to realize that that is my next role, to stand as not only a prophetess but also as a queen. The pontiff went into the United Nations and shared information on the AI to show that he also takes on the call to become the pontiff who is a priest in the world. In 2021, those Adventist girls were on the wall when I said they have it all figured out. They had it all figured out on a roll to try and fill the post of being pontiffs and bishops in the world, or at least use the pastors in Adventism to speak against or to reverse or to compete against bishops and pontiffs in the world by calling them their pastors with new names as they moved from pastor so-and-so to reverend so-and-so, because they want to move their pastors from that position of being just pastors in the church to being bishops and having those names of bishops and reverend so-and-so, which is something that is used in the world. If you like prophecy or you like the prophetic message, you want to know more about what's going to happen now as we have this problem with bishops and pontiffs who are going through the test that priests are going through in the world, and we find the solution, then like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I'll see you in the next video.